Hi guys, so I had a request to do a video on Ukrainian names, and because I don't speak any Ukrainian, I enlisted the help of my lovely friend Sophie from Formspring to help me with the pronunciation. That said, I might still make pronunciation errors, so if I do, please feel free to correct me in the comments. But I'm just going to share some Ukrainian names that I like or thought were interesting with you guys, starting with the girls' names. And the first name I have is Alla, and Alla is a Ukrainian name of unknown meaning, and I think it has a lovely, lovely sound. I actually have a friend named Oleksandr who goes by Alla, so it is a little bit nicknamey, but I still think it's pretty. The next name I have is Halyna, and Halyna means calm, and I love the Y-N-A ending that a lot of these girls' names have. This one kind of sounds like Halyna, but I love the spelling of it. Then I have Iryna, and Iryna is the Ukrainian form of one of my favorite names, Iryna, which means peace. The next name I have is Lesya, and I actually had a piano teacher when I was in high school who was Ukrainian, and she had a little girl named Lesya, which I thought was a beautiful, beautiful name. It's a feminine diminutive of Oleksandr, which means defender of the people. The next name I have is Lilia, and in English we say Lilia, and some of you might be familiar with this name if you watch Gabe and Jess on YouTube. She has a daughter named Lilia, and Lilia of course means lily. Then I have Maryska, and Maryska is a Ukrainian form of Mary, and I just think it looks really, really cool and it sounds cool as well. And Mary of course means sea of bitterness. Then I have Odessa, and Odessa is the name of a Ukrainian city, and I just love Essa names. I love the name Vanessa, so Odessa is another one that I really, really like. Then I have Olena, and Olena is the Ukrainian form of Helen, so if you want to honor a Helen, this might be a somewhat creative way to do it. Then I have probably one of my favorites on this list, and that is Oksana. And when I was younger, I was a huge fan of Oksana because I was in figure skating, and Oksana was a figure skater. Oksana is the Ukrainian form of the name Xenia, which means hospitality. And the last girl's name I have is Zorya, and Zorya means dawn, so it has a really nice meaning, and I just think it has a very, very cool sound as well. So for boys, the first name I have is Bohdan, and I think English speakers would say Bohdan, and I do think that it is usable in English-speaking countries if it is pronounced Bohdan. I don't think many people would pronounce it Bohdan, which is the Ukrainian pronunciation, and it's the Ukrainian form of Bohdan, but I think it's a lot more handsome sounding than Bohdan, and it means given by God. Then I have Dmytro, and Dmytro could be a very interesting alternative to Dmitry. I actually kind of like it better because I do love names that end in O. And Dmitry, Dmytro, all of those names mean servant of Demeter, who was a Greek goddess. Then I have the Ukrainian form of my personal favorite boy's name, and that is Fyodor, and Fyodor is the Ukrainian form of Theodore, which I thought was very interesting, and Theodore means gift of God. Then I have Hadgon, and Hadgon is the Ukrainian form of Gideon, which is another one that I thought was interesting, and I think this one is also one that could be usable in English-speaking countries. The next two names I have are Nazar and Nazariy, and these both come from the place name Nazareth, which is a biblical place name. And I just think they're very, very cool sounding, especially with the Z in the middle. Then I have Oleksandr, and Oleksandr is of course the Ukrainian form of Alexander, and I love that it starts with an O. I think it is so unique, and it means defender of the people. Then I have Pavlo, and Pavlo is the Ukrainian form of Paul, but I think it's a lot more interesting sounding than Paul, especially with the V in it, and Paul means small or humble. And the last name I have is Taras, and Taras means from Taras, which is an Italian city that is now called Taranto. So those are some interesting Ukrainian names that I thought I would share with you guys. Thank you so much to Sophie for helping me with the pronunciations. Hopefully I didn't screw up the pronunciations too badly, and let me know what you guys thought, what names you liked, and if there are any other Ukrainian names that you like that I didn't mention, also let me know in the comments. And I will talk to you guys later.